Hey guys, Eric here again with Pioneer Survival Company, and today I wanted to discuss a piece of gear that a lot of us already carry with us. It is a dry bag. However, a lot of people, when they take these out, severely underutilize them. There are just so many different uses for these. Stay with me and I'll go ahead and discuss some of the different uses. God, my feet are soaked. If only there was a way to keep my feet dry while walking across this water. Oh. One of the best uses I found so far of dry bags is actually to keep your feet from getting slopping wet like mine are right now. Now, something you want to keep in mind, you basically just stretch these right over your feet and then you can lock them. Do not take any type of string or paracord and secure these over your shoulders. If you were to fall down and these fill up, this is a 40-liter dry bag, so I mean, that's going to be pretty heavy. It could possibly drown you, so make sure these are not secured to you and you can kick them off if you were to fall down and there was an emergency. Alright, so as you can see, you just stick these bad boys on, snap them right like this, and you've got yourself a pair of waders now. Now these are pretty thick rubber ones, so it's not as likely to get holes in them, but you still want to be mindful of sharp rocks and things like that because you don't want to cut a hole in your dry bag and then, you know, you have no protection for your gear that goes in these. But it's a very rocky bottom, but they're not real sharp, so you shouldn't have any problem just wading around in these. And they come up almost to my knees, so they work just as good as any pair of muck boots you might be wearing. Alright, the second useful thing, these are your own personal safety device. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put a disclaimer here. These are not certified by anyone except for me. So if you die while using this, not my fault. I have tested this out though. Basically, you just get it nice and open. Trap all the air inside of it. Now, this is not a life-saving device. This is to aid you in swimming. This will not hold your entire body weight up. You can just kind of put your arm over it while you're swimming, and it's to assist you when you start getting tired. It's kind of like the old Boy Scout trick where you could take your blue jeans off, tie them up, and blow air into it. It's not a prolonged life-saving device by any means, but it could get you out of a pinch. This water isn't deep enough to really show you, but as you can see, it's floating. Alright, so the next awesome feature of a dry bag is water collection. You don't think about this a whole lot, but you've got two enormous water collection containers right here. Now, one thing you want to keep in mind, water's heavy. So if you fill this entire dry bag full of water, you better be strong. I hope you ate your Wheaties for today because you're probably not carrying a very far distance. Not to mention, you risk tearing out the bag if you're trying to support that much weight from the top of it. So I would probably recommend a smaller dry bag if you're going to do this, or maybe just fill this, you know, halfway up. But works really well if my bag doesn't float away while I'm doing this. There you go. Probably got a couple gallons of water right there. You can transport it back to your camp and definitely sterilize it since this came out of a creek. Another feature, since these are kind of transparent, you can actually set it in the sunlight for a while, and the sunlight will naturally kill some of the bacteria and parasites. I would not recommend drinking it from the sunlight method unless it was a last resort though. Alright, so the next thing a lot of people probably don't think about at all is cleaning your clothes while you're out in the woods. You know, after a long hike and a few days, you can get pretty stanky. All you have to do, hey, my bandana's looking kind of dirty. Toss that in there with a little bit of water, toss a little bit of soap in, seal this bad boy up. And you've got a washing machine right there. I've got a little bit too much air in this right now because you want to be able to kind of, you know, scrub the clothes in it. If I had more clothes in there, it would work a little better though. But yeah, makeshift washing machine right there. Alright, well, as me and my brother were walking back from the creek, we actually came up with another idea. Similar to how you'd use a milk jug and hook up fishing line to that, you'd anchor it at the bank and then hook several lines to it so it floats out through the water. You can do the exact same thing with a dry sack. Alright, the next idea is, you know, when you're out, you're in bear country, or maybe you just have those pesky raccoons that just love to mess with you. A dry bag makes an exceptional bear bag. Now for this demonstration, this branch is extremely small. It really needs to be up higher, and it needs to come out, you know, away from the tree more because, well, as we know, bear and raccoons can both climb. So you want something that makes it more difficult for them to get out to. But it's actually pretty easy. I just made a bowline knot on a piece of paracord. I stick it over the top of the dry bag, roll the dry bag up, and there you go. Finish that off with a couple half hitches, and bam, you have yourself an instant bear bag. Alright, so another thing you can do with the larger size dry bags, you can actually collect a bunch of debris. This is just a mixture of different leaves and pine needles, things like that. You don't want the sticks in there. And basically, you just want to pack this thing full. Get as much in there as you can. Whew, that's dank. But even if it is a little bit damp, that's not a big deal. Because what you have here is a vapor barrier. So all of this kind of damp debris that you're packing into this, it won't actually get you wet. However, plastic has the tendency of retaining heat, so you've got all of these air pockets in here. It's going to warm up the air in here, and it makes a great sleeping pad. Now, obviously this isn't going to be a full body one. It's not quite big enough for that. I actually need to let a little bit of the air out. But it will keep your core warm when you're laying on the ground. The other thing that I like to do is take the smaller dry bags, fill it up with a little bit of air, now you've got yourself a very viable sleeping option. Alright, well, it's getting a little bit dark now, so this is a perfect time to show you one of the final uses here of the dry sack. If you have any small flashlights or anything like that, you simply turn them on, fill the bag with a little bit of air, and then you can just hang this from a tree. And you've got yourself a fine little light that will give a soft glow to your camp. It's good for stealth situations. Or also, say you happen to be out on a boat, you capsize, something like that, your boat just breaks down, you're trying to get attention from people, you can do the same thing. That's why I get dry sacks that have the red bottom. You toss the light in there, it illuminates, you'll be able to see that on a lake for miles. You could also toss it right in the water because it will float, obviously, like the flotation device we discussed earlier, and that will be a good flotation device that's also used in search and rescue. This has been Eric Seitz of Pioneer Survival Company. Check us out on Facebook and YouTube at Pioneer Survival Company. Also, if you like the skills that we were teaching in this video today, we offer several different survival and urban survival classes. Those are all listed on our website at pioneersurvivalcompany.com. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.